Morning, Nancy Jane.
Morning, Scott.
How you been feeling?
I had the flu last week, but I didn't get the kind you got. I didn't get the forever flu. I got a 2 day version, and then I just retired from the world and took Thursday and Friday off because I could.
Yeah, that's a good deal. Documents. Thank you for the question, Jersey Short.
Mm-hmm.
You were telling me behind the scenes about an article you read by
Yeah,
Lori Garrett.
it's on Twitter, and Lori Garrett is the journalist who worked for PBS. She was the one who was all over the place when the plague started because she'd been part of the group foreseeing it was coming. And she has been real interested in um, actually doing numbers, actually counting what it is. And there's a thing called excess deaths. And whenever something like COVID shows up, there's a way actuaries can go in and see how many people would have died anyway. I mean, just they just always do. And then how many people are beyond above way statistical average. And before the vaccine was out, it was they were studying registered Democrats and registered Republicans in Ohio and Florida. And before the vaccine came out, there were the Democrats were the ones that were dying. But after the vaccine came out, it's like the Republicans go up like a mountain, and now there's 186% more excess deaths among Republicans than Democrats, and that's from them. And I know Florida lied about its numbers. Rose Blue just said they lied about their numbers, so it's probably worse. But it's unbelievable. I mean, and it's not just old people that are dying from it now. They're killing off their younger voters because they had it all broken out by age. You can find the graph on Twitter. Um, but she said, when people say, oh, the vaccine doesn't work, just look at this and what it's done. And those are just 2 states. It's not all 50. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Sarah Huckabee Sanders and governor of Arkansas is trying to kill her voters.
I don't understand it. And I have a friend who lives in Florida, and she said they're just infuriated, and so are the Republicans running around there. It's just DeSantis speaks to the crowd beyond the border of their state.
I may have mentioned that a while ago, but my my daughter had a classmate. He
Hmm.
and him and his dad moved to Florida.
Hmm.
24 years old. He died of COVID.
They can die from it when they're young. There's nothing magic if it's breaking down certain organs. And um, my daughter was reading me an article last night um, that 60,000 Chinese have been reported dead since they opened China.
It's
That's three
probably
weeks. That's 3 weeks ago, guys.
they. Who knows if those numbers are correct?
Yeah, well, no. Apparently, they must have piled them high enough that no one could ignore them. So,
There was there was a video I did like by myself like 3 years ago. I
hmm
was just looking at climate change in the future. So I would toss my cards and then I would get these little hits. And I was seeing, and it's like I'm getting these things in the news that I had no clue about.
hmm
Back then, I knew nothing. I didn't research or anything when I first started my YouTube. Anyway, for like controlling the climate and the CO2, I was seeing these machines like filters.
hmm
Well, you ever heard of those carbon credits?
the carbon what credits? Yes.
Carbon credits, yeah. I
Yes.
mean, I don't know if that's a thing you really need to invest in or anything. But anyway, it's all part of this big push to try to get these machines built.
hmm
And it takes the CO2 out of the air and they can inject it in the ground or store it and it actually creates rocks.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of them around
hmm
mostly in England. But actually reduces the CO2 in the planet. You need a lot more of them to help, but it's a way that they're trying to at least help climate change by reducing the extra CO2.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then I was seeing electric would be coming in for cars and whatnot,
Right. Mm-hmm.
but it's like hydrogen is the future.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting. Well, here I seen an article in Canada. They're starting to roll out hydrogen buses.
Mm-hmm.
And Germany, I think, is trying to roll out hydrogen powered trains.
Mm-hmm.
And it is possible to get a kit to run your car on hydrogen. So it's just amazing. And then what popped up my feed Friday, I think, there was this guy. This company. Well, anyway, they hide their faces because
Mm-hmm.
anyway, he used water in 2 different cylinders and had a small generator run on water
Yeah.
by hydrolysis.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my God. And then he
There's
made
so many ways we can stop killing ourselves if we
so
just.
many ways. And he made a propane torch or a gas grill out of pig manure. Just put some pig manure in a
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
barrel and let it ferment for 2 weeks. It created
Mm-hmm.
gas, to run a gas grill or a torch. There's so many ways we could reinvent the wheel here and make things better. But I was just so amazed. I'm like, he just made this little thing with some kind of fins of metal,
Mm-hmm.
put water in 2 different things and and then some tablets or something. The process of hydrolysis created fireable hydrogen. It's like, wow. So there are good things out there. Mario's got a solar water heater. That's
Mm-hmm.
great. I think it doesn't take a little while. Solar's a little slower, I've read, but
Once you get it across your roof where you live, where I live, I have a friend who turned his whole house solar, and he sells power back to the power company.
yeah, if you get enough.
Yeah, he did. Well, we have big roofs here.
That's right. The movie Thunderdome. They ran their vehicles on pig methane. Nice.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the individuals. Well, certainly where I live, it's not going to be the government that's going to promote things. But
And then I was reading the story about those filter machines that can take the CO2.
mm-hmm.
I think it was during the Obama administration. They were trying to get companies to put these in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been, I don't know, it's been out there for 5 years or more.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want to do it because it'd be too expensive. Like coal companies and whatnot. And factories that all the CO2 that goes in the air from the stacks and whatnot. It would cost too much. So it's cheaper to pollute the environment than counteract the effects. And plus, Trump administration rolled back the EPA. So you know how that goes.
Yes, and they're not easy to build back because we don't have just closets full of scientists. We can open the door and they come tumbling out that can help us with this stuff, or even the staff to help them keep track of what they need to know.
Okay. Now we got the service moments out there and amazing things I've seen lately.
And then we have the old-fashioned technology of Republican lies and disinformation.
Oh, of course. They're going to run with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Trouble. And we know this is not going to go away if Joe runs in 2024. They will use it and use it and use it.
Except it shoots them in the foot because their whole argument up until now has been, he can't do that. He can't have that. And as will become very clear when Jack Smith's finished with Trump, he can't just declassify things because he thinks they're declassified. I mean, all our arguments that they've been using for the last few months are blowing up in this, but it hurts Joe because this gets into the both sides do it argument.
Oh, genealogy. The guy with the water engine was on the Detroit area news, came on twice and no longer heard from him again. I think that's why. I think he must have been threatened or something from the big guys, because he said there's a reason why he's hiding his face on his YouTube channel. Strange. Okay.
I don't think he was set up in his inner circle. I got a no on that.
Yeah, I don't believe that either. If we just look at that logically.
Mm-hmm. Actually, right in the middle, I got the sun that it will be revealed if it was planted by someone. I'm going to see if it was planted by someone from the outside.
But yeah, there was like 3 different places. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about it logically, how would anyone acquire classified documents?
Yeah, when you and I discussed that yesterday on by chat, I told you I can't find the notes I wrote 6 days ago, so I don't know where to find some documents from 8 years ago.
So I never sensed they were planted. I just feel like it was a mistake.
Well, one of the boxes that these documents were found in the first set, it was in the same box as a whole lot of information about Bo's death and letters and condolences on Bo's death. And on the outside of the envelope that they found the documents in, it said personal. So did all the other things that were in that box. That sounds to me like human error.
Yeah, I mean, they were saying that he was rushing around, had many trips overseas, and met a lot of leaders before he went out. And it was
they were trying to get things straightened up before Trump moved in, for damn sure.
And he had his son that passed, and then Hunter was going through issues.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it was a mad rush, and his aides.
That's what I get. I get it was just an accident. It wasn't done purposefully by anybody. Nobody was holding anything.
So anyway, I just get it's just gonna be a pain for him, as far as I have nothing legal here. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be a pain. The talking points. The outcome is Queen of Coins. That would be like honesty, and then Ace of Wands.
That's what I got too. If that was your outcome card.
Yep, that was my outcome card. The Queen of Coins, Ace of Wands, 5 of Swords. So it's positive, honest energy, but there's going to be some conflicts, backlash with the 5 of Swords. So it's kind of like a heartbreak, some betrayal.
The biggest problem he has on this, I think, is the DOJ. I think the DOJ, some of the ways it got handled from them, and who some of their people are leaking out information to make it look the worst.
But it does feel like there's going to be a positive end to it.
No.
I have death. I have 10 of Coins, 6 of Coins, so that could be like the documents, and then the death card. So there's going to be it shows a positive ending with the 10 of Coins there. That's financial success or positive success. But it just feels like the Republicans are going to run with it. But Joe. But when in the past, when this happened, it just seemed to be a lot of heartbreak at the time.
Yeah. I think
'Cause
it's
I had,
when his son
'cause
died.
his sons, because I had the Five of Cups coming in, then his public service, and then the Queen of Swords. So that would be, like it could be his wife or lawyers, this passionate female. So this feels like maybe could be female aides, but there's just a lot of heartbreak at the time when he was leaving out when this happened with that Five of Cups. Sadness within his community service, and then I got a female here. So I don't see any legal. It's just unfortunate. Trying to be honest, but the other side's going to be railing on it, of course.
Well, they rail on things when they aren't even there. This is at least something sort of there. I mean, somebody mentioned, not that we read on other readers' readings, but Cash Peters did 2 things on this yesterday. And his second one was he saw people like behind on a green screen drawing inferences and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I watched that, and I have always had in my core, the feeling I had was the reason it took Merrick Garland so long to get going and running the investigations that we saw it on our TV screens. What can they do about January 6th was because of problems in his own department, because of people that were in his own department that needed to be taken out of the loop, gotten rid of, and he needed to find out who was okay and who wasn't. And I think that may be some of what we're seeing is there's still some of them creeping around in there. We know there's been a lot of law enforcement that is tending to go towards the Republican point of view in societal matters. So
that can also represent obstruction.
when
you're hiding things in a green screen behind the scenes, you have people obstructing justice.
Right.
That's a big thing. Joe did not obstruct justice.
So
Laura is wondering how this is going to affect 45.
I think I'm going to see if it's going to affect 45's thing, but that's a different thing. May not be in the public's mind, and it's certainly not when you have the kind of press we have hounding on him, but
let's see here. Will they ever prosecute Trump for mishandling? Yeah, that's just crazy. I mean, when you're a public servant paid by the government and you have those ideals.
Well, mine shows that the Knight of Cups reverse means there's a whole lot of ill will around this, and there's not a meeting of minds about it, so no one's trying to stop it from happening. Actually, people are getting together and working harder on the project, which I would take as Jack Smith, and they're going to uncover the secrets that Trump's been hiding, and they're going to bring out the monetary element of it. The page coins, they're going to be able to benefit and profit. It started because they went looking for them because there was that period in October a year ago when so many of our helpful people in other countries disappeared, and that's when they tried to look around and see what was going on.
That makes sense. Good catch. So I get no at all. It ain't going to affect much at all. So I got the Hierophant, Wheel of Fortune, and Queen of Swords to start this out. Definitely no with that one. But Then I have moving forward Page of Swords, Five of Swords, and the Tower.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me they're going to have to button up some things.
Yes.
So you have two presidents, documents. They're going to have to change the narrative in a way, so he doesn't get out of this. It could more go along the lines of obstruction instead of stealing or whatever. But they're going to have to change. They're going to have to change a little bit.
Biden didn't obstruct anything. He even went in and had people.
No, I mean for 45.
Okay, 45. Okay.
Now there's no. Now there's a there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it just feels like there's a little bit of a, buttoning up on the wording or whatever to. I think it actually is going to be helpful. I think.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, let's see, will they able to prosecute? In the end, I have Five of Wands, Knight of Coins, and my Dark Times. It would represent a little bit of arguing. Within DOJ and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Just Smith prosecutors. But will Trump, what does that mean? It feels like they got to get over the infighting or something about it. There might be some. It might be showing like some internal struggles between the prosecutors. How do we do this? Maybe.
Well, Jack Smith is separate from Merrick Garland. I mean, now both these guys are each
right, but
show.
Right, he's got like 20 prosecutors working with him. Whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Plus,
but it's not just the documents; it's all the other stuff.
Correct.
But no, I see that they have the information, they have the power they have the ability to translate it. This means they've already built a strong defense. They figured out a case, and this is an element they couldn't control coming out there, but they're going to solve it because when I see this little guy, I see him as I'm going to figure out how to put the pieces of the puzzle together and make it work. 7. It's 7 of Wands.
7 of Wands? Okay. Usually to me that wand always represents trying to break through the confusion.
Yeah.
Always
like
wands.
You have all the pieces, but you can't figure out how to put them all together. And the other thing is, what I want to find out now that they have found this stuff from Biden, what are they going to do to the archives people? I mean, what are they doing? Just letting stuff. I mean,
oh yeah, definitely.
Billions of pieces of paper they handle, and a lot of it will depend on how serious these are.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how the process actually works? Do they, actually have archivists following everyone around every day? Turn in your documents.
One of those Amazon tags you can buy now and put on your luggage, and you can attach them to your phone. You just need to buy them a whole big parcel of Amazon tags. You take anything away, you know where it is.
Cassidy Hudson reported Meadows was burning documents.
Yeah.
45 was eating and flushing them. So how do you control everything?
Trump started by tearing them up. Trump started by tearing them up, and then these guys would come and they'd get his trash cans from the archives, and they'd sit. And they had to hire a whole office full of people to tape them back together.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's when he started eating them and other stuff, so they couldn't find it. We have so much to be proud of in this country. There was a question in here asking if we knew what Jack's up to.
Okay. Okay. I got 2 nights starting out. I think they might be looking for more documents elsewhere.
On
Night of Wine.
Biden or Trump? Or on Trump?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
if there's more documents out there, if they're going to be searching for more.
Mhm.
Sure looks like it that way.
I apologize in advance. One of the new cats introduced to my household has escaped from where it's normally living. So if you hear a cat fight, you're hearing a cat fight.
Yeah. 45's been going crazy on his fake social.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my 2 nights that come out first, they would represent a lot of movement of looking for documents.
Mm-hmm.
They may have to go back to court to search more because they're not being honest. Because Jack is looking into the 2 guys. They want to know who searched that other, that storage unit, whatever, supposedly
You're right.
found. DOJ wants to know who those people were. So I'm seeing like court. So we have justice coming in, but the courthouse. So there might be. So it feels like they might have to go back to court to get another warrant. So then I have the Knight of Swords, 6 of Swords, and the King of Cups coming in here. So that would be the FBI getting it done. King of Cups could be a lawyer, maybe, or a judge approving.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a warrant. In the end, I do have my coins here with the 5, 6, 7, 8 of coins. So that could be the warrant. But it feels like it might not be till summer.
That would be the Ace of Cups for me. The cups that are showing up, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they will be. They're just trying to figure out, get cooperation of, you got to approve it by a judge, right? Judge just say, oh yeah, here's the evidence. I don't think they have the evidence, so you got to talk to those 2 guys, and if they're getting the runaround, truth ain't being told, then they're going to go to the judge. But you got to have that proof,
What I see is Struggle Avenue. That's a 5 of coins. They're trying to cover it up. But the High Priestess is coming in, and it's going to be the supporter of truth and protection, which is the Queen of Swords. So, so that's kind of what I think. I think they're going to get them for it. They're going to go find them.
Did he catch? Pegasus said, did he catch up those documents before he ate them? Hilarious. Okay. I'm gonna grab that other one. I got a morning frog starting. What the heck? Okay, I found that other comment. Oh, I'm sure other presidents have accidentally had documents. The funniest thing they talked about is that 45. They were missing stuff when they started talking about the love letters. It's like, wait a minute, archives, we don't have the love letters.
That's what they didn't notice they didn't have.
I was reading about RICO, Pegasus. I'm not sure. RICO's a tough one to prosecute.
Well, I
In,
don't
in
know.
in this, I mean, a conspiracy is easier than a RICO in this case, because a presidential administration technically isn't a crime org.
Well, they are when they take them out and sell the secrets to other people.
True, true.
So
Okay.
I got it still. It's in the end, will Garland prosecute? That's such a broad question because prosecute what? You know?
True. I think we know where you're going. So I guess we gotta put in our mind what that question is.
Mm-hmm.
Associate what?
Because what I've got
Mhm.
is
I guess prosecute what is a crime.
mhm,
You know, not do favors to the Trump administration of what they
mhm.
did, right? Technically, it's in Jack's hand.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to ask if Jack's going to prosecute because you're right. Garland's, and
That's probably right.
I presume they mean in the end will Garland prosecute? Okay. Trump. So we're going to ask if Jack's going to.
Jack Smith and his team and the prosecutor.
Mm,
Let anyone off. Prosecute the law. There you go. Prosecute Jack's recommendations.
this next note.
Woohoo! No. I mean, yes. So in my end, anyone in the government that has done anything wrong will be having a tower moment, will be
Mhm.
prosecuted. So my Hierophant, Six of Cups, and a tower. If anyone in our government did anything illegal, they will be prosecuted. Deal or no deal, they will get something.
Mhm.
That's what it's telling me. But then you got to deal with offers and flipping and whatnot. Whoever was, you know, you got to try to get the flip deal to get to the top. So I got Page of Cups, King of Coins, and the Six of Coins. So they're going after the money too here with that. Figure out. I heard lately they're relooking and going hard at his funding.
Mhm.
Stop the Steal campaign, which is technically illegal, I guess. So, but you get with the Page of Cups, you got to get people to flip, get to the
Mhm.
top, right? That's a standard. But yeah, they're going after the money currently. That's the current energy. Getting people to flip on the money is funding and whatnot. But I see indictments flying out. No forgiveness. 10 of
Mhm.
Swords, 3 of Coins, and my 7 of Cups. So that feels like to me is flying. there's nightmares, people having nightmares of who's going to get indicted because they know they're criminals.
Mm-hmm.
That Seven of Cups to me feels more like the fantasy of the whole stopping the steal, changing
Mm-hmm.
the results. So they're going to have a 10 of swords on anyone that had that delusion that the election could be changed. But that ending was pretty powerful with the Hierophant tower and the Six of Cups in the middle of that. So
Yeah.
you did wrong. You will have a tower moment. So there's, yes, anyone will be, even if they flip, I feel like they're going to be doing prison time, whether it be 6 months, whatever. When I was shuffling, the King of Wands dropped out, so I just put that to the side. I think that would probably be a coordination with the FBI. With because King of Wands usually in a legal situation always pops up to me as the FBI director.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there's coordination there because they got to do the raids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no one's getting off. I just feel like they will prosecute everyone, whether they get out by a jury or not.
I get a feeling about what's going on around Jack right now is he's the hierophant. He's the structure. The structure's being built around him.
Could they?
He was offered some stuff that he's just not really going to use. He's having to go back and look at a lot of stuff, but he has some good people working with him. He's got the Knight of Pentacles. They're the plotting people, and they'll upset the family to get what they want. But right now, they're trying to dig through what's illusion and delusion and what's real evidence.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Take pensions. If you're in Congress for 10 years, you don't get a pension, right?
Oh, yeah.
You get paid for being in Congress for your life?
They have the best retirement package in the world.
Even if you're there for 2 years?
No, I think, I'm not sure if it's 2. I'd have to go back and look. But yeah, trust me, if you can I think it's if you make it 4, then you get paid out forever. Yeah.
Good Lord. That's wrong.
No, I can tell you right now, Jack Smith's only going to be a prosecutor. He's not an administrator, and to be head of the DOJ, he'd have to be an administrator. And he's a good administrator for setting up prosecutions, but the DOJ does a lot of other.
That feels right. I'm not being shown like a bright star future, like the head of the FBI or anything like that, I get no. He's coming in to take down the criminal org of 45. He's got powerful energy behind him with the Empress, but I got him walking away and a death card after he's done with this. He might take a vacation for a while after this is all done. Yeah, I don't see I'm not getting any cards of a future of any higher glory. He might take a 6-month vacation after this is all done. Carrie, Congress, full pensions available to members 62 ages, 5 years of service. Oh my, 50 years. So it ain't like you can be in service from age 25 to 35 and then get all your pension.
No, you have to have 25 years of service. So if you got in at 25, you'd have to get to 50.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of got me scared. Like, Bober can be there for a couple of years and get money for the rest of her life.
Well, if she waits till she's 62.
I guess that question.
Thank you, Carrie.
Okay. Wolf Girl, I think Nancy's right. There's so much untrue mixed in with the true. Jack has sifted through it all. Better to go after those who are easy to go after. Okay, thank you for the comment.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix says 5 years in Congress to be vested in a pension. So you can be put into a pension, or you automatically get a pension.
Well,
62.
it's like if you work for a company and you get vested.
Right.
Like I worked at American Airlines just long enough to get vested. So when I turned 64, they wrote me and said, "We have this money. Where do you want us to put it?"
Oh, cool.
So
okay. Oh, congrats to the person in Maine that won the $1.5 billion in the Mega Millions.
Speaking of which, if you'd like to send us a little donation today, if you have that money, that would be lovely.
Yeah, we don't have 1.5 billion. May 6th. Ugh. I don't know what I missed. Okay. I'm just browsing quickly.
Do you want to go after the National Archives? It's at 9:40. It's at 9:49. Will they ever update this? I have a feeling at the end of this that they're going to be the ones who get creamed.
And what was that? It's NARA, right?
It's Pia Swan is the person who wrote it.
Well, I'm just doing a quick banner because that's way back.
Okay.
NARA.
Okay.
NARA changing how it goes, how it works. NARA.
See if they're going to get blamed for some of this, because they probably had procedures they weren't following.
Yeah, you'd think NARA would be involved in the transfer of power heavily.
Mm-hmm.
Aw, bless you. Bless you, Carrie.
Thank you. Whatever he's thanking you for, I'm in there, right there with him.
A donation of 20.
Oh, that's lovely. It's nice to know we're appreciated.
It's 31 years. My sister. Okay, now. National Archives.
Oh, yes. This is the first yes I've gotten all morning. It's gotten the Queen of Cups, which means all the little secrets and secrets they didn't take care of are going to be revealed. The High Priestess, secrets. Page of Wands, someone's coming in and going to create a whole new endeavor around them. This is going to become a cottage industry. And this is the Sun, and it's a good thing. This is the Sun reversed, but it means it's a good thing because it's something that's obviously needed to be done. And it's not going to kill the agency, but it's going to fix them up. So I got a yes. They are going to clean them up.
Yeah, there's some changes needed, of course. So my farm card, the Hierophant, comes out, so I guess that would represent NARA.
Mm-hmm.
and the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Wands. So there was a lack of functional energy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's a need for change with the Wheel of
Mm-hmm.
Fortune in Nera, a lack of functionality within. That makes sense. So then we have light, sun, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, the need for change. All right. There needs to be more clarity, more energy, no da 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 da, more accountability. And it's like being more serious, right? It's just
Right.
being more serious, more transparency, more energy into the process. So then I have the Chariot, Moon, and Page of Swords. They're going to take charge of the situation to make things different, make new recommendations. There may actually be talks of like officers or court appointed reporters, that kind of thing, to make
Mm-hmm.
sure things are done properly. To get away from those secret things like burning documents and all that stuff. So there's got to be more accountability. There's going to be changes made. So yeah, you tapped into a good one there. Or the question. NARA needs to step up their gig too. It's like we've always said, 45 was a crime spree that needed to be shown how to accountability within our government.
Mm-hmm.
And we have NARA, and we have an accidental movement of documents that shouldn't have been, right?
Right.
The bad functionality of the Electoral College Act,
Mm-hmm.
everything.
That was just a mistake waiting to happen again. You know.
It's too bad we don't. But we have Joe in charge, and we have the Senate, so everything's pretty much in safe space as far as laws. But when the McCarthy clan can create a lot of chaos and nonsense. Thank you, Aries girl.
What about the debt ceiling? I saw a couple questions about that. Did we want to look at that?
Okay, let me.
They said it's coming up there. They say it's really accelerated, that they're going to make a pronouncement the next week.
Yeah, I think I seen something about Janet Yellen said
Mm-hmm.
they got to do something within a week or two. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Create a quick little banner. That's the thing. For entertainment only. Thank you, Viv. I hope that's okay. I just use Viv. It's easier, quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, Viviani. Okay. 19th. William says the 19th, Janet said. We could be
Yes.
over our debt. That's pretty darn soon.
That's very soon.
You know, if we go over the debt ceiling, congressmen don't get their paycheck either.
They don't care.
They don't care, huh?
No, they've got all their other money and all their friends, and I'm gonna do a big reading on this one.
All right. Blessings, Karen. Yeah. The Electoral Count Act is a mess. All that should be done. It's like in a baseball game. Who wins? One with the most runs, right? They don't go back into sections of the audience and say, no. The Boston Red Sox had more runners in scoring position, so they should have won.
Well, okay. You ready to go? You want to do yours? You want me to do mine?
You go ahead. I'm not ready. I'm still thinking now.
My end card is that there's going to be some real. What I think this is sort of sums it up. They're not going to let them get away with it. They're not going to let them try to push us into this. There's someone who's going to find a way to find a creative balance, so they don't look like the jackasses that they are. Um, it's based on just the Senate should have pushed through something that would have stretched out longer when they had the chance. Before the transition, they didn't do it. But what we have now is a lot of people are going to be looking at this, and this includes big business that normally pays the Republicans to keep them safe. And they're not going to like it. They're going to say, we have to move. That's what's already happened. Now, any of the things coming up can change. But what we've got is they're going to try to walk us up to the edge with the Page of Pentacles, with the Page of Cups. But the Page of Cups is the page who has the stinky little fish. Well, when it's upside down, the fish really stinks. And there are going to be some monetary people in this country, the big business people, who are not going to want them to go there. What they're terrified is that these clowns would walk us into this in ignorance. Those who understand what this means to people know that it throws us clearly out of we're not living in our happy garden with all the coins around us. It's going to be, they're going to be slow on the uptake. This is going to be a nail biter.
Mm-hmm.
And because they know they could bring down the house, that's 4 rods. And it's upside down, so that's bringing down the house, kid. But what happens is the King of Swords, the one who cuts things up and sticks his little sword in everybody's bag of BS, is going to be in there fighting it. What I think I see overall is that the tower is not going to be allowed to happen.
We don't want no towers.
Nope, we don't want no towers. And I think in part it's going to be because of the Congress people are going to have to be worrying about their own butts rather than the country's financial butt by the time this rolls around.
Yeah, that made my confusion too. Because good morning, Colleen, the Cool Crone. Someone wants to put her YouTube channel up. Be great. Subscribe to Colleen. But yeah, they're talking. I remember something too being signed, and that we're safe till August. So that may have been something different than the debt ceiling.
Well, there's one way around having to have the House vote on extending it or expanding it. And Lawrence O'Donnell kept saying the words, and it's 2 words, and it's they have to write something. Even the minority from the House can push it through to the Senate. Then it has to go to the Senate and be accepted by the Senate. And there can't be one senator that changes one semicolon or anything on it. It has to go in there. It has to go through, pass, and be done. And we've walked up to this line before. It's a really stupid way to run a government, because all they're saying is, yes, we're going to prove that we have the amount of money to cover what we're already spending. It's not like it's going to stop anything. All it's going to stop is poor little sweet little old ladies with purple hair not getting their Social Security checks, really. And it just throws. It's just part of their chaos project, and their chaos project is the subject, I truly believe, of a foreign government that wants to bring us down. So that's who they're siding with when they do this crap. So
yeah, I don't have great cards here. I do see it going to be passing with the Knight of Coins, Ace of Cups in the end, surrounded by the moon. So it could be a little late with the moon, but the Knight of Coins, we mean honor, getting it done. Ace of Cups is abundance. So, but it may be a midnight kind of deal with the moon in the middle there. But the chaos around it is just nuts, the talking points and whatnot. But I have Janet Yellen coming in, and the Ten of Swords, Wands with the chaos and the worry. She's exhausted. She did her work, but Congress needs to do it. And then I have the Knight of Swords. So that's being courageous. But eventually I see it getting done here in the end. But there is stresses about that. I have dark times and the loss and the King of Swords here. So that feels it's like chaos agents in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing the noise. Maybe this is Kevin McCarthy here. I mean, it gets done, but it's just nonsense every single time. There's got to be chaos around the debt ceiling because we got to pay our bills. It should be a non-issue, but I guess that could be checks and balances too, right?
Yes.
You can't have a rogue person just alone running up our debt like crazy.
No, I mean, the thing is that what we have is a Congress that, by a very slim majority, absolutely doesn't want to do anything to make the government function. I mean, they run. They didn't even have a platform last time, but Republicans run on the fact that government doesn't work. It started with Ronald Reagan when he said the problem is the government, and it's not going to help you. It's not your solution. And it's really two parts that make this country work: businesses that can actually function, and a government that functions to help businesses function. So don't get me started on Reagan. I'm old enough to remember hearing him speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's just speaking. I mean, I was pretty young then. I mean, I didn't know the ins and outs of what the Reagan government did or anything like that.
Yeah, you were a kid.
I seemed to like the man. I was only in my teens.
Mm-hmm.
So, but more you look into it, he did his administration did some poor things. We're paying for now, basically.
Yeah, his administration tore the Civil Aeronautics Board apart, freed the airlines up to become a totally, without a transition period, just said, now we're saying what your fares are. Next month, we're telling you have to figure out your own fares. And, Katie barred the door. I was working in fares at a major American Airlines when all that happened. I watched them break the PATCO union, which screwed up the air traffic controllers. And people said, well, why should they be making that much money? Because at the time, and I hope to God it's still the same way, to be an air traffic controller, you also had to be a pilot. You had to know how those planes worked because you're guiding them in. And they busted that union and thought they were being overpaid. And they're the people who were keeping the air system safe. They were also the ones that kept reporting when the mechanization of what was keeping the air traffic safe, they would turn them in. And the big airlines didn't like that much. And that was one reason why they didn't fight it so hard. But you saw what happened. They had one glitch show up in a program. The whole system goes down and the whole East Coast gets stopped. That's not good for business either. I mean, I've watched all this stuff grow from the time I was in my 20s, 30s, maybe 30s when I was at the airline. But anyway, there are just a lot of people who don't seem to understand we live in an interdependent economy, and we need to handle that.
I can't remember what article I was reading, but basically the House seats, even with all the gerrymandering and whatnot, it basically compares those close seats they were doing at the end
Mm-hmm.
to Hillary losing to 45.
Mm-hmm.
Hillary lost by 77,000 votes in 2016, basically. With the
Right. So we had a 4-year nightmare, yes.
So these House seats that were in limbo at the end, it's
Mm-hmm.
basically that amount of a difference from all those seats.
Mm-hmm.
It was that close. Even with all the gerrymandering and everything of the Dems keeping the House. You know, the whole country and all these 7-8 seats that were in limbo until the end, it was that close.
Mm-hmm.
So the question here with Celtic Seer, so We need all three. Democrats need all
Mhm.
three. Are we possibly going to get all three prior? Or is it going to wait till 2024 election?
Celtic Seer, I found out there are 3 labyrinths in New York City. She asked me this question, and I thought I had your email, and apparently I don't. If you can email me at crystaldirections.nancyjean@gmail.com, I'll send you the list. I found 3 of them I think that are real near you in Manhattan. There's a side note you weren't expecting, Scott. I think we're going to get the Congress back before 2024.
I mean, when I did my predictions, I just seen so much light for Democrats coming in, but maybe there was a reason that the few energies of a few numbers.
Well, it's, if you look, I think, at the last 5 Congresses in their 2-year stretches, they've all had, each of the last one have averaged losing 16 people due to illness, or they had to go back and visit their families because of something, or they got caught doing something they shouldn't have done. And all those seats had to be replaced. Think how close. Why do you think they're not throwing the George Santos, if that is really his name, out on right now?
Yeah, we're finding out he used like 4 different versions of his name.
Yeah, and they showed a picture of him when he was out trying to stop the steal. One of the guys who was a former roommate said he'd stole some very expensive scarf. He was wearing it in that rally. I mean, the guy's a thief. And he's going to go out and become a big deal on OAN or whatever.
Okay. I grab my Lord of the Rings deck to get a full spread on what's going to happen up to 2024. Ian did mention it is a Senate. The Senate's going to be tough in 2024. It's going to take a lot of good people.
Mm-hmm.
Who's up? It's a better GOP looking Senate as far as how traditionally goes. So 2024 going up to functioning Congress.
I'm going to see if Congress is going to switch before 2024.
Okay. So in the past year, I'm getting our current Congress. It's kind of like an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a non-functioning house. Ace of Wands, 7 of Cups, 5 of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
It's a functioning illusion. And it's also telling me like the GOP winning is an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
So going forward there, that totally makes sense that there's going to be changes.
Mm-hmm.
We have celebrations, partnerships, and the lies removed here in the current energy. So no matter how much chaos the Republican House is doing, the lies are being exposed. The chaos is being exposed. The deceit, right? They're non-functioning government, but we have celebrations going on and partnerships being made. I think it's got to be the investigations that Jack is doing. I think that's why he's been brought in, because it involves Congress.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to indict congressmen. Moving forward, I got the sun, the moon, and the 4 of coins. Bottom of the deck, I had the FBI, the energy of investigating. Revelations are going to come to light, and they already are behind the scenes, about the GOP in Congress. The 4 of Coins represents a different house or a group of people to me.
Right.
So the 4 of Coins represents the Republicans. Secrets behind the scenes are being revealed. In the end, I'm getting indictments rolling like crazy by Jack Smith. And they will be leaving. So things are going to be good.
Yeah, I got.
So here, I'll just explain. I didn't show him. The magician is coming out to me as Jack Smith. The chariot taking charge of the situation. Knight of coins to me is like an honor, and it's also can be paperwork, indictments, and the hermit. The hermit, they're reflecting, and to me, I feel like they're leaving Congress with those together. The current, it's an illusion, right? The GOP led House is an illusion. They ain't going to get anything done. I believe there's changes happening in Congress before 2024. What do you think?
This is a 9 of Wands, and the burden is so great that this guy just wants out of here. And there's a lot of the Knight of Pentacles is planning to see what can be done. Then this is my Biden card. They may not like it, but Biden, some of what the tone he's setting is really going to work for them. And then this is the Page of Wands who comes in and builds a whole new environment. And these are people leaving the Congress, saying bye-bye. Out of here, 8 of Cups.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
No one escapes.
No.
They can fight it. Like I said, I sense there's going to be people that will be indicted, but they may get off at trial. You know, 12 people may say, no, that doesn't rise to the level of sedition or whatever, you know.
Did you see that the Proud Boys their trial was supposed to start last Monday? No. Yeah, last Monday. And it couldn't start because one of the lawyers they were using had lost his law license the week before.
I've seen that. I think there was some kind of approval, though. It got delayed, but I think he got approved back in, unless I missed.
If they disbar you, they normally disbar you. It's not like the saloon doors that swing both ways.
Well, this is what Bannon is using, delay tactic. The judge gave him till the end of February to get new counsel for his Manhattan case for We Build the Wall. Unreal. He's just delay tacting the inevitable of him going to prison for many years, because he's looking at over 5 years for that state case. We Build the Wall, if they prove. Just unbelievable. The two-tier justice system. The guy should never been out on bail.
Nope.
And then we have Matt Gaetz running his podcast while he's in court. Congressman on a right-wing lying podcast. And we're paying.
Talking to George Santos, who we're also paying.
I know, right? What does that figure out? Let's just say, it's $170,000 a year. That's what, $3,000 a week? So we paid 5 days. We paid Gaetz $600 to be on a right-wing podcast. Yeah, I think Green's got her own podcast, and we're paying them to be podcasters. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's all they want to do. Yeah, they get 174,000.
Yeah.
And
Indictments and convictions are two different things.
Kevin
Yes.
McCarthy gets 193,000.
Right. I was just trying to figure out how much in my head how much it might cost us for him to be in a right wing podcast. Suspended lawyer. It was suspended. The judge does not let the lawyer have the lay. Okay. Thank you. If you are indicted, can you still serve in Congress? Yes, unless you go to prison.
Menendez served in the House for his whole trial, and he got off, and so he's still sitting there in New Jersey.
Democrats forced. Yeah, Al graciously said it's best to resign.
Mm-hmm.
I think Anthony Weiner resigned after his stuff come out.
Oh, with Anthony Weiner, they had him cold to the. I mean, Al Franken's was a 20-year-old photo when he was a comedian. Yeah. Anthony Weiner, they had Pelosi called him in her office and said, "You're leaving," and he left that day.
Mm-hmm. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
Let's see. We cover that. If they're sworn in, the newbies, and after the McCarthy vote, how did Santos?
Because it's a caucus. It's a caucus that's there to be seated.
Oh, yeah. The vote's legal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Except it might not be because he wasn't using his real name.
Don't attend the GOP Russian plant test cases.
Yeah, I know what Susan's talking about. It was reported that George Santos received a lot of money from Viktor Vitaliev, who is a known Russian. There's a whole bunch of people got in trouble for getting money from him before. And that's the foreign money they're tracing on him right now.
I mean, this whole story is so weird. He set up fake things to make money, Ponzi scheme in Florida, and then he's up here, and all the people he messed over, he was couch surfing and stealing from people, and all of a sudden he's got a ton of money.
Yeah.
A complete made-up story, and it's amazing people didn't come out because certain people knew about him into 2020 when he ran.
Having run a small in-county campaign in Texas, how anyone got away with all that, someone was making sure that if anything started to come out, they weren't letting it come out. There's just no way. I mean, I've run campaigns where, we had people coming to us with the color of the underwear people wore. And I'm not joking about that. It's really hard. To me, it's just political malpractice that the Democrats didn't go after him much harder. And the other seats that they lost, the 4 that they lost in New York, somewhere the Democratic Party in New York decided, we don't like, I'll tell you what I think it was. I think they don't, this for entertainment purposes only. Cuomo didn't like being thrown out of his office, so he had his part of the Democratic machine just sit in their hands. And that's all it would take, because if you have a group of people built up to do certain things in certain ways, it can, even a small part of them falling away can really hurt your campaign. And I just can't believe they lost that many seats in New York. And
it is nuts.
It is crazy. But you want me to read if there was a plant?
Yeah, I was just tossing cards on him and this whole crazy thing. Mm-hmm. There's definitely some kind of assistance there. I mean, he didn't come up with this scheme by himself.
Yeah.
Um, he's totally burdened right now about this whole situation. That somehow he thought he'd get away with it, but I am. So I got this Three of Wands, Strength, and Lovers coming out. So that would be there is some kind of powerful assistance there to
Mhm.
accumulate that money and be in power. But in my mind, a newbie has zero power in government to be that elaborate of millions of dollars just for one seat. That's my own mind. But I have him. He's got some severe anxiety right now about this to even walk around. But he's going to be indicted soon. They're going to figure it out. So he won't be there along with the Chariot, Nine of Swords, and Three of Coins. I think he's gone soon.
Yeah, I think his. Are you done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. His downfall was his money coming from a bad place. He was told, "Oh, we can get away with this. We've been doing it for years," and he took an offer he shouldn't have taken, and he doesn't have the strength to live up to it. And a strong man is going to come in, or a strong legal person, or someone looking at the value of this is going to unseat him. Um, but I think what it will be is it's going to be a real wake up call about the Russian money. Plus, DeSantis was giving a lot of money to other campaigns.
Yeah,
So they're going to
true.
have, so they're going to have to follow all that up.
So much illegality. Just
God, it's
unbelievable.
a headache. These people really.
They make you annoyed. Money funnels to many politicians, foreign governments. Yeah, that's the problem. We've been seeing they use so many different LLCs and companies, and the FCC and everything just kind of lose track of where the funneling goes. And
Well, during Trump's time, it was they killed the Federal Elections Commission. They wouldn't seat people and stuff. They had no authority. I mean, they're already an equal Republicans and Democrats, but they weren't even letting on the ones that would have meant that they could make a decision on how things were handled.
so what was it? I think the Nassau County GOP had a press conference, and now the New York GOP held a press conference.
Right. He's not allowed to use any of their facilities. He's not allowed to use any of their resources, which means any lists and things they have.
Okay. I'm gonna toss three if that had any input. See if I can get any proof of what's going on here.
Okay.
Ultimately, it's up to him.
The voters can't unvote.
Is the FBI ripping him out and putting him in jail, or he resigns?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just could not imagine. I could not be him with all that pressure and people knowing you lied. You'd be on your own island.
I have he won't be there in 3 months.
Did this move the needle?
Mm-hmm.
The seed is planted for him to leave, but I'm not seeing him leaving on his own.
I don't see him leaving on his own, but I see him leaving in 3 months.
Yeah, I do see that. He will be gone, but did this move the needle? Not in his mind. Right now, his only protection is staying.
That's right. That's why Trump still wanted to stay being president.
Bingo. Okay. I've seen another question up here. And a Dem party. Cloning after the chaos agents the way they should. So you mean like House investigations there, Anna? I don't think so. I mean, as far as like the J6 committee, they did amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the law is the law, unless you're thinking of within the DOJ, but I think if someone is being bad, they would. Wolf Girl, George Santos is a psychopath. Pretty much.
Pretty much. I have an answer for Anna's question, but it's maybe not the way she's thinking about it. I asked if the Senate's going to go after the crap that they can do to investigate these things, which they can do. And I've got, they're already building the things to do it. Very strong people are going to be in charge of it. They're going to go after their money. And they're going to sort of bring out how things can be restructured. And it's going to happen swiftly. So I think the Senate's going to be the one that goes after the crap that's happening around the House.
They passed. Let's see. Who was Gene Singer? Wisconsin Republicans are trying to flat
Tax. The flat tax.
15%. We have a huge budget surplus with Democrat government. Okay. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I've heard it way down here.
Oh, did you? I missed that news. Thank you, Governor Evers. But anyway, I'm feeling Evers would veto that. I don't. Let's see, with a flat tax of 15% work in Wisconsin here.
15% of what?
That's pretty high.
15% of your income? 15% of everything that's the sales tax? What tax are they making flat?
I know. It's already, you're like, it's 7, I think it's 7.5 on your wages. There's a 5.5 on purchases. So I'm not sure how yeah, I don't know. I'll throw the cards, but I sense that would get a veto.
No, I just looked it up, and unless my Google's really lying, it says it's a flat income tax of 3.25, and that would be it.
Did you look it up?
Yep. It's a flat income tax of 3.25. It said it benefits the wealthy over the middle class because there's a lot of things that get anyway. Right now the current split into 4 brackets. You have an income. I guess you have a state income tax.
Yeah.
Going from 3.54 to 7.65 on anyone earning over more than $280,000. And he said if they make it this flat rate, it's going to hurt the middle class because it raises you guys up so much.
Nuts.
What's your sales tax in Wisconsin?
Some states are a little higher. So like my county's got a 0.05 added for what they need. So it's like 5.55 or something.
Yeah, we have 8.75 on our sales tax. And you don't want to know what a property tax is. I had a friend who moved from Illinois and was so excited to move to Texas where they didn't have to pay income tax, and their property tax was more than their income tax would have been in Illinois.
Yeah, the property tax went up incredibly a lot.
Mhm.
That also goes with school referendums too,
Mhm.
approved if you're rebuilding. So there's a certain percentage we got to pay back there too,
Mhm.
or the property owners. But
Are we reading on Jim Jordan and then?
yeah, let's just toss a few of Jimmy Jordan. Pauline wanted to know about Jimmy Jordan. I mean, we're seeing changes.
Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes! Yes!
Goodbye.
Yes!
Okay.
Because of what he did, and there he is
High
leaving.
five Milwaukee too. Cool. Okay.
So Jimmy Jordan gets to take
Sort
the
of
I'm out of
truth
here
is
card.
coming.
Mhm.
Jimmy Jordan will be. He is end up going to be trying to help his cause. He's going to be talking here.
Mhm.
Truth is coming. I think he is. It. Yeah, I got the Jack Smith charging in on him. So here's my magician card creator, him coming out again, and his whole world's changing here with the Wheel of Fortune
Mhm.
and that indictment card. My indictment card coming next to him. I had the Page of Cups coming in, so I think he's flipping. He'll be giving whatever information he gave save his butt, but the Chariot would suggest he's leaving. It may be a while. He could fight the process, but probably next fall, I think he's gone. The Moon, Ace of Swords, and paperwork. Kind of feels like next fall.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think he's wrapped up in January 6th.
They're not going to get Marjorie Taylor Greene though. They're going to try. They don't have all of the information they need, but enough's going to come out that she's going to be completely disgraced, which I find kind of an odd statement because I would have thought enough would have come out of her to be completely disgraced. But
My guides show her in handcuffs.
oh, really?
Yeah,
I like your cards better than my cards.
Well, I didn't do that today. I got this a few weeks ago.
Okay.
On my Tuesday night live, and
Mhm.
they showed me an image of her getting hand off and handcuffs, and I'm actually kind of surprised it hasn't happened already. It was that vivid, so I believe she's wrapped up in it.
Okay. For McCarthy, I got he thinks he's being celebrated. He's made choices, and this would be a yes. This is yes, yes. And the tower's going to come down on him, not as hard as it could have. And that's how he's going to he's going to get out of the worst of it. But he's
Good
going.
morning, Sterling. Wolf Girl said Milwaukee has a 5.5. So, I mean, there's certain, it might be a 0.05. I can't remember for Dane County.
Do you have anything that's exempt from sales tax?
I remember when I farmed, you get free sales tax on farm items if you purchase, but that was about it that I can think of.
We don't pay on food that you take home to cook.
Really?
Yeah, and but if it's something that's packaged like croissants that you can take home and eat, those are taxed, and we don't tax on medicines.
Monica is going to be in anger. Oh no. What's up with that?
What?
And she said, I won't be able to watch the news for 2 years, where I'll be in constant anger.
That's true. My great distraction this week, other than having the flu, was finding a tree full of burls and going out and figuring out it's on a ley line and going out and talking to it and talking to the entities off the ley line. That's what I do instead of watching the news.
Oregon has no sales tax. Aw. New York City, 885. Oof.
Yeah, you're one a little bit ahead of us.
Cali's pretty high here, too. Oh, Colleen, how much damage can they do?
Oh. Because the only thing that can really hurt us with right now is the debt ceiling. Let's see. We can ask, will they damage us by not going forward with the debt ceiling?
Damage. Dark man. I don't see damage. There's just chaos. I got all their chaos and their darkness isn't going to matter. I mean, we got the Senate. Feels like the Senate to me with Duchess. And all their new laws and whatnot they're going to try. It just isn't going to happen because the truth is beyond and what's factual. So what they may try in the negative aspect new is going to be okay because the sort of truth is hanging behind them. And then I had the Wheel of Fortune and what's right. So it's just negative chaos energy. The infighting, the arguing, the lack of energy. It's just noise. I don't see any damage. It's just noise. Like McCarthy can bring a bill here, but it ain't going to go anywhere because we have the Empress, Duchess, and Wheel of Fortunes. So it's just noise.
Well, what I got is it's a bumpy journey, but it's not, the ship's not going to capsize, and they aren't really able to go anywhere. When I get the Knight of Swords right side up, it means things are moving. When he's upside down, it means things are not. And they're trying to plant a lot of seeds of ideas and things that aren't going to work, but they have no real power. And in the end, other people will make other choices. So I don't know. It's not a badge of honor that any of them are going to be wearing.
Jeff wants to know if the Republican Party is gone. 8 years. Let's see. With it, to sense the energy of if we would ever go to a parliament type system or whatever, multiple parties rather than just two.
You'd have to get rid of the Electoral College to do that. That's the first thing that would have to go.
Parliament Party be gone. I'm not seeing a split, meaning more than two parties, like.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Monica. Um, I'm seeing the GOP in chaos up till 2030.
I see that. I see it's a split decision. It's more or less gone. They're trying to draw in new people, but the name may be so tarnished by then they can't get anywhere. Because I see them not being able to make alliances, not being able to make things work. This is my little page that goes out and builds a new enterprise. These are people making more positive decisions. And then I see a lot of people that when I see the Five of Pentacles upside down, it means you are now able to meet the people you should want to meet. And there's going to be just enough kept that they don't get out of here, but they're going to be a very weakened.
It almost feels like by then we might have a unified party, meaning people just vote for who's the best person and there's no really party type.
The R and the D are not the all high holy woo-ha.
Right. It's more, it feels like we might be moving to just people and stop all this money, billions of dollars going into one campaign thing. It just feels like there's going to be a change of how things are done and more unity.
Well, the more the younger people come up, they want to get along. They want people that they can consider,
Because, for many, many years, it's us against them, and it just feels like it's going to change because I have all these cups in the end. So I got evaluating the situation going forward, and then I have Page of Cups, King of Cups, Queen of Cups, and being united.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like with all these together, it just feels like we're more united people, and you just change things. It feels like you don't, waste all that dang money. Like, I'm running for office. You're allotted $5 million for advertising, and you have speeches, right? Debates.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But it's not us against them. It feels like it's moving more positively in the future. But the Republican Party may be gone in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the idea of
right, but the next, in my mind, what they showed me, there's like we will have a Democratic president at least through 2032. I didn't look any farther, but I hope that's right too. But I think 2032 we finally get our first female president.
I think it'll be before that, but
I don't know.
And
I keep saying a man winning yet. I could be wrong. So it feels like, I don't know. I'm not even sure if Joe's going to be up to running in 2024. I see a man, and then the vice president of that person, and this feels younger, like the youth generation, like Gen X or Gen Z comes out in droves, right? And then the vice president of that will be the president in 2032. It feels female. So it feels like a younger generation next time, male, female again. So we'll see. But that's what I sense anyway. But shift through. Nancy feels it's all gone. Yeah. Okay. Oh gosh, we're already at an hour and 40.
Okay.
Yep, I gotta get moving. Okay. We're finally having our family Christmas tomorrow at my dad's house, my sister's house. Actually.
What happened last Sunday?
That was here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
We were gonna have the big family Christmas at the farm, and that one Friday before Christmas, but the weather was so bad.
Yeah.
So we couldn't. No one. It just never worked out with everyone getting there until tomorrow or today. So heading to the family farm today for the big family Christmas. It's all the cousins and whatnot, and everyone. Vote like crazy. Yes.
In answer to Earth Mama's question about the 2020 census, yes, it was a cluster, whatever. And I had friends that worked on it, and they have since been out working constantly to rectify what they understand are mathematical errors. So it's not done, but not done yet.
Nope. Is today MLK Day?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Today may be the actual day, but tomorrow's the holiday.
All right. A blessed card for the day, huh?
Okay. Let's see who we're gonna pull. A zillion cards out here. I'm gonna pull these.
Okay. In my Oracle deck, I got basically the Tower card, but it just means go with the flow. Anytime we have unexpected changes or something bad happens, a car accident, whatever, just take the process and go with the flow and don't get upset.
Mm-hmm.
That's the card that popped out. Just a reminder to chill, relax, and go with the flow.
Okay, and I got regain your focus. This is a Archangel Michael Oracle deck, and it says trivial life matters are distracting you from your goal. Archangel Metatron and I are here to help you stay grounded. And if you look at that, it's got Metatron's cube with Archangel Michael's sword. So it says regain your focus and focus on the things you can do something about, because a lot of times they're just trying to fill us with fear when we're watching the media or other people's comments. And the more I can tell you, having the flu for 2 days and not watching any of the news, I felt so much better, and I'm not sure it was just getting over the flu.
Yeah, hopefully soon we'll have some news on Fani Willis's decision.
That's true.
In Georgia. Yeah. Oh, I think they're meeting. It might be after next weekend.
24th.
24th?
I think it was 24th. This date.
24th, 27th, yeah. So we'll see some movement there soon. So anyway, have a blessed day. Have a happy Sunday.
Yes, and stay warm and stay cool or stay dry, depending on where you live. Aw, thank you, Linda.
Blessings, Linda. Have a great day, Colleen, Sterling, Linda, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.